What's up YouTube, and today we talked about shonen anime that changed the game forever. Shonen anime like Death Note, Dragon Ball, and My Hero Academia were utterly groundbreaking, ushering in new eras in the genre. It's not every day that a hot new series comes along to light the industry on fire, changing it for better or worse, thanks to the innovations it brings to the table. Most of these changes have been for the better, slowly but surely bringing anime to a wider audience and turning the medium into a household name. The shonen anime genre has existed for decades, with themes heavily focusing on growth, camaraderie, and force of will. It has gone through many tropes and trends, establishing a rapport and understanding with the anime community over time to the point where the term is now almost completely synonymous with the medium. These are my top 10 anime that changed the game forever. Death Note is an anime whose popularity doesn't need to be stated. Like Yagami's descent into depravity, spurred on by a sense of superiority and a hero complex, gave rise to the trend of shonen manga with conflicts not settled with physical fights. Light and L's intellectual feuds were just as gripping and adrenaline-pumping as a typical superpowered slugfest. Even long after its original run, anime fans and non-fans alike continue to praise, reference, and discuss Death Note. Its themes, atmosphere, and narrative culminate into a piece of art many consider a masterclass in sequential storytelling. Many anime fans outside Japan were introduced to anime with one of Weekly Shonen Jump's big three. Of those three, most Western fans became fans thanks to Naruto, with Bleach often being the runner-up and One Piece coming in last, no thanks to the abysmal handling of the anime overseas. Part of why Naruto was so much more appealing was thanks to the personalities of its three protagonists, Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura. Their dynamic solidified a trend in anime where protagonist teams would consist of the confident knucklehead, the brooding loner, and the moral support. Just as the big three's popularity started to wane, Shonen Jump needed fresh ideas to stay on top. That's where Gintama comes in. An almost purely comedic series set in an alternate Edo Japan, the series follows Jin and his two companions as they run an odd-job service. Much of what makes Gintama so beloved is its use of gags which, while sometimes used somewhat inappropriately, ultimately made it a memorable experience. However, some say the series sort of petered out by the end, having a somewhat lackluster ending that placed more emphasis on action and jokes than the plot. Regardless, it paved the way for more comedic shonen manga, proving the strength of solid gags. In a time when complex power systems were a rare sight and anime fights came down to who had the higher stats, Full Metal Alchemist was a breath of fresh air. Hiromu Arakawa's big contribution to the anime sphere, aside from her master storytelling, was a set of soft guidelines for creating a natural in-universe magic system and how to make it a consistent facet of the world and narrative. Other anime had already done what FMA accomplished, however, it was Arakawa's series that showed the world how greatly a well-written magic system can contribute to an anime series. Since then, other anime has followed in its footsteps in trying to include coherent power systems. For a time, respect and admiration it deserved at first, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure eventually became a worldwide phenomenon, the likes of which had rarely been seen before. Set across multiple generations of heroic science duty-bound to protect the weak from the strong, JoJo has been described as an ode to humanity that portrays the indomitable human spirit at its strongest. JoJo, since its inception, has been a cultural icon for decades in Japan, using flashy outfits, flashier personalities, and the flashiest poses to tell the stories of its unflappable characters. JoJo references always existed before the adaptation that put it on the map, but now they're as inescapable today as death and taxes. Almost every trope associated with shonen anime today traces back to Dragon Ball Z. The series was already incredibly famous during its initial iteration as Dragon Ball, however, it wasn't until Z that it became a household name even for people who didn't watch anime. Dragon Ball Z continues to be a beloved intellectual property despite the setbacks the franchise's reputation may have suffered over the years, especially the abysmal live-action adaptation. The fact that the series is still getting new content is a testament to its staying power and the cultural sway it still holds over the anime sphere. From the 90s to the mid-2010s, card battle anime received a massive spike in popularity, largely thanks to the smash hit series Yu-Gi-Oh! It follows a young boy and his alter ego, who play high-stakes card games, with the loser suffering from punishment games. The series inspired a genre of toys and anime centered around trading cards with their own in-game personalities and lore, such as Bakugan, Shadowverse, and the Pokemon trading card game. Yu-Gi-Oh! Is the poster child for card games and card battle anime and remains the gold standard for the genre to this day. The final and last the champs of all anime One Piece. Not a good deal of anime can claim they've survived for over 1,000 episodes and chapters, but One Piece can. As one of the longest-running current anime, One Piece and its creator, Eiichiro Oda, continue to inspire writers and artists the world over. Much of One Piece's influence comes down to its art style and story structure, which still stand out in the current anime climate. The zany but serious world the series takes place in, combined with the layered plot, serves as the gold standard for long-form, narrative-driven shonen anime.